Delighted to welcome you, ladies and gentlemen, to Guadalajara Country Club for the Banorte 1m50 jump-off competition presented by GNP Seguros this afternoon. Superb to have your company. And Equestrian Digital is your all-in-one technology partner for equestrian events. We provide seamless solutions for every stage of competition, ensuring a smooth and professional experience for organisers, riders and audiences alike. And our services include online entries, effortless registration and management, show office, streamlined event administration, timekeeping, accurate and reliable timing, graphics, stunning visuals for branding and broadcast, live stream and production, high quality coverage for global audiences, clipping and videos, professional highlights and replays, video boards and scoreboards, real-time results and dynamic displays, and personalized apps with custom solutions for an enhanced experience. From start to finish, Equestrian Digital bringing technology to equestrian sports like never before. Equestrian Digital powering the future of equestrian events. And superb to have your company, ladies and gentlemen. This is the mighty Guadalajara Country Club. Superb facility. We are delighted to have you with us. And this is seen as we get the Banorte 1m50 jump-off class started. The Grand Jury President is from Mexico, as is most of the team, Grand Jury-wise. We also have the foreign judge from Bolivia, that is Liliana Rivera. The President, though, Norma Angelica Rodriguez, Beatriz Pino and Matilda Negrete, all from Mexico. And Augustin Lerra will launch into action. 50 starters, 8 nations represented. Home nation with 31 this afternoon. Argentina has 8. And this their trailblazer. 3 for Brazil, 2 each for Colombia, Denmark, Chile. And 1 each for Uruguay and for the Dominican Republic. It's a very good one to start late as well. More about her as we go through. Maria Gabriela Brugal Gassos, that is. Now, this is a very good horse to show us the way around the course of Anderson Lima, the Mexican designer. He built his very first launching Global Champions Tour last week in Campo Marte in Mexico City. Great courses they were as well. And Jaina Blue P wins a lot of classes for Augustin on the international circuits. Travels now down to the treble 8A, B and C. Vertical 2 strides to a vertical, which I'm afraid is the first blemish. Middle an hour go for our trailblazer. Little collection here prior to the presenting sponsors GNP Seguros' vertical. Straight line down, 2 verticals in a flat line would not be that easy. 9 down to 10. That's the home turn into the Ariat double 11A and B, and then down to the Banorte Oxa. And I'm afraid that is the blemish coming late as well, prior to the final fence of 13. Exceeds time as well. It is 19 penalties for our trailblazer out on the course. 2.5 seconds out of the 83-second time allowed for the first round here in Guadalajara for this 1m50 Banorte prize. Tough start for our Argentinian trailblazer. This man had a very good 4-star win yesterday. He won the 1m35 special 2-phase competition. And the one for Uruguay, Juan Manuel Lusada, we welcome. He turned 45 on the 11th of March, just under a month ago. Juan Manuel was born in Argentina, but a Uruguayan father has given him nationality of Uruguay. But he's been here in Mexico since 2002, locally to Guadalajara, having previously been in La Plata in Argentina working for Justo Albarracin and Oscar Fuentes. His ride, Turismo de Rio on course, jumps that plank, the Ataloma plank very smartly, and the Doble Tequila. Rustic Oxer again fluent down this serpentine line. He's a very keen barbecuer, loves making pizza as well. And close to my own heart, we ran a little pizzeria, my wife and I, for 3 years, but trying to juggle the hot cakes and the microphone was not too easy. It's a super round this is he's establishing. He won the first ever Longines FEI Jumping World Cup to be held in Mexico at Ovalo de Bravo with Stan back in January of 2016. And Juan Manuel Luzardo is giving us an exhibition around here. 50 starters, I would anticipate is going to be 10 to 15 clear rounds would be a rough estimate, but I would think it would be 15 top end, but we'll see. It's a very good round this is from Juan Manuel Luzardo, forgive me, he comes home, but time is going to be influential. That's a quick horse. Didn't look to be steady exactly either, so that is an indication time is tight. So 2-time, delighted to see his reaction. He's very happy with the round from Gizmo de Rui, but it's out of the time for the 2 penalties for Juan Manuel Luzardo for Uruguay. This man had a stunning week at Campo Marte on the Longines Global Champions Tour of Mexico City last week. He was second in the first GCL individual round with Chaco Cono. And this horse was very well placed in the second GCL round, 4th that was. That also acted as the Grand Prix qualifier. And they then went on into 30th position in the Global Champions Tour Grand Prix last Sunday. Ignacio Morin is on the course, and Conchado, quite a long striding horse as opposed to Gizmo de Rui we've just seen, but fairly looks to be idling, not exactly chasing down the time, but I'm hoping this horse is deceptive. Ignacio moved to be based in the USA in 2014, initially worked for a family in Seattle, then headed down to Wellington, Florida, gets a whistle from the support team. Moved to Wellington to work for Lillian Stransky in 2015. Conchado, 83 seconds, has got 16 seconds on the home turn. I think time should be okay here actually. Got 10 seconds now. This horse is deceptive. Or is he? Is he? I think it's a sneak inside time. Hopefully. It's tight though. Yeah, he is inside. 1.02 the advantage on the clock, and the first one to return for the 1m50 Banorte 4-star jump off class is qualified. Good round from Ignacio Morin, and Conchado, his good form from the Longines Global Champions Tour in Mexico City last week continues here in Guadalajara. The new starter is the first of the 3 for Brazil this afternoon. Bruno Cavaliero Ribeiro gets away. What number 423? He started his international career in 2012, November of that year. His first career win was a Grand Prix actually, San Jose Pinula in Guatemala. That was in April of 2015 with Zucate Palo Blanco. Now, this is Carolee's Come On Jumping. Blood athletic jumper certainly, and then Bruno, yeah, sensibly gets a quick wiggle on around that corner to avoid having a time penalty as he sets up very nicely for the Liverpool meets it. A really good forward shot at 7, and then again, yeah, hacks down the treble as if to say, yeah, time's tight and I'm going to make sure I don't have a penalty. This horse keeps a good balance even though Bruno's putting his foot down, getting very deep to the GMP Seguros vertical. And 9, but it is all paying off here. To join Argentina's Ignacio Morin in the Banorte jump off. No, I'm afraid the mistake coming. I think it's 11A. clatter into that last combination. Yeah, only just inside time, so we do have a lot of respect for Anderson Lima's time allowed this afternoon. No, it's a vertical second part of the Ariat double. That is the late mistake, I'm afraid, for the pair for Brazil. This lady's very young and she's very good as well. Mexico's Maria Michelle Rodriguez at 23 years of age. She had her maiden 5-star win in Coapaxpan's 5-star 145 in mid-March with this horse. RSK Vanta Catalai Z is on course for Maria Michelle Rodriguez. Very deft bit of footwork in before that multicoloured vertical. Right distance down between 2 and 3, very sharp in the base. This lady went across to Europe last year. She had 2 very good wins in Dinard in France, including the 1-star Grand Prix. That was the Lettre de Montaigu prize. Both wins were came with Galvano van der Vlasput. But no, the brakes go sharply on into the Makame Liverpool. Sad to see. Particularly frustrating for Maria because her very first 4-star win was here. Again with Galvano, May of last year. But then commits her, I should say, back to the Liverpool. But the hand goes straight up to indicate to our judges, led by Norma Angelica Rodriguez, that it's a retirement, sadly. Brakes went on very, very last moments, and we say farewell, I'm afraid, to the young talent from Mexico. She is a bright talent. Maria Michelle Rodriguez out of the Banorte prize with RSK Vanta Catalai Z this afternoon. This man's very talented. He's young as well, like the combination we've just seen. A lot of youth mixed alongside some senior talent this afternoon. It is Alfonso Gutierrez Diaz from Mexico we welcome. He's only 26 years of age. He's twice been at the North American Youth Championships in 2016 and 2018. And a very nice team bronze with Quick Ardent, the young riders at North Salem, New York in 2018. His first international win came in 2019 at Atomi, Samagoda Allende, with the aforementioned Quick Ardent and with Win-Win as well. His international career has not been that long. He started actually in January 2021 with Volumia. This afternoon, Jalas K on course. Now this horse was produced by the rider 2 ago. Little tack, I think the breastplate has broken. It was produced by Bruno Cavaliero Ribeiro, the Brazilian we just saw 2 riders ago, but they falter, I'm afraid, in the treble. This horse had a very good 140 jump off class win at again Otomi. And that pegged Nicholas Pizarro back into 3rd place, so Jalas K has left some very strong Mexicans in his wake this season already. Alfonso will be ruining that mistake in the treble. So this course now starting to really bare its teeth, and Ignacio Moura sitting very happily as the sole clear of the Banorte prize at the moment. He's overtime as well. Will be 2 on the clock and 8 jumping. 10 for Alfonso Gutierrez Diaz and Jalas K in the Banorte prize. The new starter, we welcome Mexico's number 7 to get underway. Francisco Jose Lomala Enrique is the new starter. This is Little Diamond HDH on course. He's 43 years of age, world number 487. And his very first World Cup start was here at Guadalajara with Donau Graf, 19th place in January 2017. Francisco's first international win was in May of 2015, 2 years prior to the World Cup debut. That was a 4-star 140 jump-off class win at Coapexpan with Focado de Brami. His international debut was in 2014. This horse, his second career win, was early March this year. It was a 2-star 140 at Coapexpan. Little Diamond travelling on very well. A few rattles early, but it does seem to all be intact out there. A 1-year partnership. They started mid-May last year again here. They had a 4-star win in that first week together here in Guadalajara. 1:35 class and a little verbal command down prior to the turn to the Ariat double at 11 A and B over 10, paying off beautifully. Time's concerning me though. I think this will be out of the time. Yeah, super round. What a shame, because really good jumping performance from Francisco Jose Lomala Enrique for the home nation, but 0.66 of a second over the time. There's not any time out there to sort of rest on the laurels. Is a bit of an extreme analogy, but just to take stock of things, that's what you can't do. Just got to keep motoring. Imagine it's a jump-off scenario, I think, is the best advice from our early starters that we can see. It's one, it's unlucky. The next to start, one of the most seasoned in the field this afternoon. Delighted to welcome Mexico's Jose Antonio Chedraui Eguia, a new starter. 58 years of age, he'll turn 59 in mid-June this year. And a double Olympian, Atlanta 96 with Elastic, Hong Kong 08 with Don Porfirio for 35th individually, and behind Eric Lamaz and Hickstead. And the game's now 17 years ago. 2 worlds, 98 and 2002. Roman 98 with Elastic again, and Jerez La Frontera. 5 Pan American Games. Can't read my own very bad handwriting. And Team Silver came in Santo Domingo in 2003. And best individual finish at the Pan Ams was 7th in Rio de Janeiro in 2007. With the horse I just mentioned the following year, the Olympic horse from Hong Kong, Don Porfirio. Our concours starts superbly. Jose Antonio's grandfather, Antonio Chedraui Caram, built the club Ipico Coapexpan, Jalapa, where his son, this guy's son certainly, is based, Jose Antonio Chedraui Prom. I assume that Jose Antonio is based there as well, but I don't have that information confirmed. But this is beautiful. It's a gear, or maybe a gear and a half quicker than those we've seen, and that's why time is going to be easily achieved here to join Ignacio Moura. Very good round, that is. Yeah, impressive. That is the second clear of the Banorte 150, and the seasoned man, double Olympian, Jose Antonio Chedraui Eguia and Concours makes it the second clear of the class. The new starter, Luis Alejandro Plasencia, gets away for Mexico. Hubert B is on the course. Now this horse was in Brazilian hands until recently. Rodrigo Alhambra, and lastly again Bruno Cavaliero Rebello, who's had his saddle on certainly a couple of the horses so far and ridden himself. This pair had a very good debut 2 weeks ago in Coapexpan, 3rd and 4th in 2 5-star classes. And Luis Alejandro, who won the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup here in Guadalajara with Da Vinci in January of 2018, one of his hallmark victories. Hubert B is going very strongly. And again, this pair come back from the Longines Global Champions Tour week in Mexico City last week. Looking confident and flowing, certainly. Got a flow out there, as we saw from Jose Antonio Chedraui Aguirre a moment ago. This again in similar vein and romping home for our third clear. Now they're getting the measure. No, the Banorte penultimate, I'm afraid, goes. Frustrating late mistake because it was going really impressively. Nice inside time by 2 seconds, but to no avail with the penultimate, I'm afraid. The 4 for the home combination. Luis Alejandro Plasencia and Hubert B have the late 4. So just to confirm, 9 have started. If you are just joining us, a very good afternoon. Superb to have you with us for the 154-star Banorte prize. First round, and for those that are both clear jumping and inside the 83-second time, which is not easy to get home inside the jump off wall of weight. Presented by GNP Seguros here at the Guadalajara Country Club this afternoon. The next combination is a very good one. 8 nations represented and the home nation, 31 combinations. And this, the very good Alberto Sanchez Cozar on course. And this is top horse April Hilcher Z away. Now this man, number 239, he excelled 2 years ago in the Central American and Caribbean Games in Santo Domingo. Individual bronze with April Hilcher Z and Team Gold. Was also at the, again, same Central American and Caribbean Games in Bogota 2018 with Whoop as individual silver and Team Gold, so seriously strong. Fiddle rattles down through the treble, but it is all intact. Now this very good horse was bred in Argentina. Produced her entirely himself since March 2021, Alberto. They have had 2 5-star wins this year already, both at Peg Span. 150 jump off class mid-March and a 145 against the clock round as well. Now, time's okay here. This is a very good round for this outstanding combination. Great round. And it's now 2 for Mexico. Along with the first clear round for Ignacio Moura for Argentina. Smart round it was for the really impressive combination from individual and team medals at the Central American Games. Well done to April Hilcher Z and Alberto Sanchez Cozar. The new starter sets off very, very quickly. John Presbom has got out the start gates like Usain Bolt in the good old days. He's 49 years of age, John Perez. He'll turn 50 in mid-May of this year. He was in good enough form on the Longines Global Champions Tour in Mexico City last week. And having been 9th in that Grand Prix, the LGCT Grand Prix 2024. John Perez left Colombia at 18 years of age to accept a work offer in Monterrey here in Mexico. And he had a very good run in the World Cup finals in Leipzig. The Christian Alman won with Talibé Z, that was 2011 with Utopia. The Pan American set 2011 again with the same horse Utopia, and the last Pan Ams in Santiago with Gigi Carmen, and Larissa S is looking on bound here for John Perez Bomb, but very confident to make it our fourth clear of the Banorte 150. But no, I think the Ariat knocks her into the double late. Again, a sting in the tail for the Colombian pair. It goes bang on the time exactly. That was a good bit of judgment, but I'm afraid those chronological skills will not pay dividends for John Perez Bomb. Late mistake, 4 from home for Larissa S. For the Colombian, we'll have a ride later to try and make amends and return to join the jump off. Combination 12 of the 50 is the very talented 32-year-old from Mexico, Maximiliano Camacho Amaya, getting started. Now this is an impressive horseman. He's only in his third season. He debuted in September 2022. His 4-star debut week was here in Guadalajara. And he had a very good first international win at 150 in his first 4-star week. Fact, I've totally bungled my notes there. This is his 4-star debut, not a win. Apologies. This is his maiden 4-star week. This is first 150. I tell you, handwriting, bad glasses, foggy. His best finish to date, Maximiliano, is second in the 135 2-star Guadalajara. Certainly here, September 2022 at Jaxo. And this is the Spanish bred Hilario del Masse from the Yaguara El Masse stable of the Ortonel family that's directly north of Barcelona. Now, yeah, time is getting whistles, but I think to no avail. It's a shame. It's a maiden 150 run. Well, 2 from home is the first mistake. Time exceeded as well, but hats off to Maximiliano Camacho Amaya. It's a good enough round for debutant. He'll be happy, no doubt. Late mistake, 4 penalties at the Banorte Ox, so this one, and 5 for time, 9. It's his first 150 score. It's a very respectable total for the big track he's faced for the first time this afternoon. So still 3 clear rounds after 12 have now started, 1 quarter exactly. Only jumping this course without a penalty. Time still proving very influential, as now we welcome this interesting combination. From Mexico, Jose Antonio Velarte Uribe Cash Barbotier getting started. Jose Antonio, 33 years of age. His maiden international win was in Mexico City, 2-star 135 with Lancaster, November of 2016. I don't know the exact story as to why, but he did have a 7-year ass. His first 140, or his first international start, was a 140 in Curb Pexpan, April of 2009 with Aspen. Then had a 7-year break until the start of 2016 in February. This Cash Barbotier on his first ever international start. That was the 130 in Monterrey La Silla. But no, it goes wrong for the light bay into the treble. 8A falters. Yeah, the first ever start for them was a win. 2019, they again, like the pair we've just seen, this is their first 150 ever. They had 2 wins this year. They have had 2 wins, both in late February. 135 jump off class at 2-star level at San Miguel de Allende at Otomi. Another 2-star 140 there, the same week, but back end of the course, I'm afraid. Mid part and back end, the two little blemishes, but it's a good round for for maiden voyage at this level. One time as well, 9 for Cash Babotier and Jose Antonio Vallarta Uribe for Mexico. Combination 14 of the 50 to start is a very good one for Denmark. Nikolai Hein Rus, who welcome. He's world rank number 365. His father Niels was a dressage and jumping coach in Denmark. He rode in Denmark initially, and then to Germany to no less a man than Paul Schockemöller in the 90s. I stayed with Paul or Paul to be more Germanic. Be correct, my wife's German, so again I'll be over the coals tomorrow morning at breakfast. Stayed with Paul for 15 years. And Nikolai now based in Mexico, or has been here for some time at Sabino Farms. His ride this afternoon is Cape Town. He's piloted this horse pretty much exclusively since May of 2023. They still look for their first maiden international win as a combination. And their last outing was slightly inauspicious omen to bring to Guadalajara because they retired from the 5-star Grand Prix in Coapex span. So looking here to reunite. Nikolai has got a superb international record. He had a championship debut at the Rotterdam Europeans in 2019, 6th individually and 10th with the Danish team with Cadillac. And he was 4th in the World Cup at Puebla, here in Mexico with Bordeaux in January of 2023. Now this is a smart round. I think just okay on the time as well. For our 4th clear round, potentially. Turns for the final fence. He's got to go, can't sit quiet. And I think he does sit quiet. No, he doesn't. Just does enough. Boy, oh boy. The Dane makes me uneasy in my seat. But it's a very nice bit of judgment that brings us clear on number 4. Nikolai Hein Rus will be back with Cape Town. 0.38 per second, only inside the time, but it is just okay. So just to recap the 4 clear rounds, we have the 2 for Mexico, Alberto Sanchez Cosal Atali, and the home trailblazing clear for Jose Antonio Chedraui Aguirre, the double Olympian. The first clear of the Banorte prize was for Argentina's Ignacio Moura. Very, very smooth that was. And just inside time, the one for Denmark. So 3 nations qualified with Nikolai Hein Rus and Cape Town. Now this is a very much informed pair, but they, I'm afraid, have an early mistake because Juan Bautista Editi Hortas is on the course for Argentina. He's 31 years of age. One number 518. I'm surprised because this pair, they won the 2-star Coney Trophy that was run alongside the Longines Global Champions Tour, Campo Marte, Mexico last week. And that was the Argentinian 1-2 that Juan Bautista won ahead of Augustin Lerra. Was our trailblazer in this class, and that was with this horse, but a second mistake out of the combination HC, I'm afraid. But this horse is a newcomer to 150, Poblana LS La Silla, number 15, so Argentina will have to be content with the clear of Ignacio Morin. one time as well, 0.2 of a second for Poblano Elas Lacia. And that is going to be a 9-point score for Juan Bautista Peduti Hortes coming home for Argentina. Good effort for the winners in Mexico City last week in the two-star Kone Trophy. It's another very good combination who have an early rail as well. Spain's Paula Amalibia is our new starter. From Barcelona initially. Her grandfather's passion for horses set her in the saddle at a young age. One of Paula's highlights was the win in the President's Cup in Madrid in 2006. And her husband, the legendary Federico Fernandez, will come a little bit later. Paula had 2 senior caps for the Spanish, the Worlds in Normandy, the Dornano Stadium in Caen 2014, and the Mannheim Europeans back in 2007. Paula was very well placed, 25th individually with Cadbury Dell. I'm a start. Just one down as they travel back to our presenting sponsors, the GNP Seguros Vertical. It's away from the in and out gate, so not an easy fence location, but it's proving fairly straightforward. I'm a start. With this horse, the partnership formed in May of 2022, so this their 3rd season together. 4th season together, forgive me. And it's a good round, early mistake, but otherwise very solid as you'd expect from Paula Amalibia. I'm a star. This attractive grey has a little cluster of time as well, 3 time, and the 1 early mistake, 7 for Paula Amalibia. The 17th of our 50 starters in the Banorte 1m50 this afternoon is for the home nation. Andrea Vega Brockman gets started. Now this is the Babs Diamant Van Het Villebecker Z away. New ride for Andrea this year. Late February they had a 6th place in a 2-star 140 at San Miguel de Allende. They hit the 2nd, but it stays, I think. This is their 2nd 150 start as a combination only, so relative rookies to this big enough track of Anderson Lima. Now Andrea herself, she had a very good 2-star 140 win at Querétaro El Marquez, Jaluna PS in November 2020. A 5-star debut, no, the Liverpool, I'm afraid, goes, and had one earlier on the course as well. 5-star debut was in Kirpexpan with Mosquetero in April 2018, and her international debut was October 2010. Now Andrea has got to keep an eye on the clock as well, because time is looking as though it is slipping through her fingers, I'm afraid, out on the course. But you've got to bear in mind always, as the 3rd error occurs at the penultimate, you've just got to get around these big courses. When you're cutting your teeth, you've got to think of time as a secondary or tertiary consideration. You've got to primarily get your horse round safely, ideally with as few penalties as possible, but time has got to come as you get more experience. You can't chase time early, even in the 1st round where it's not the sort of main objective as it is in a jump-off. It's 22 for the new enough combination to this level. Andrea Vega Brockman and the Babs Diamant Van Het Villebecker Z. 22 the home score. The new starter, we go to Mexico, is Manuel Senderos, number 18. Manuel based in Mexico City. And this cannabis are on course. Now the last outing was actually in late 2023. They missed the entirety of last season. So great to have this horse, who's a big winner, back in 2025, hopefully with a good season start. Cannabis jumped here in September and October of 2023. They were second in a 2-star and a 3-star Grand Prix that year. They had a very good run back in 2019 in June of that year. They were 4th in a big 5-star jump-off class at Spruce Meadows, Calgary, Canada. So yeah, one early rail, but good to have this horse back in action. Cannabis has got this sort of fairly low profile over jumps. He's seasoned, he knows his job inside and out, back to front. I love the expression, ears pricked, little head shake as if to say to Manuel, I'm delighted to be back here. And it will be certainly an interesting horse to watch as we go out through the 2025 season, or go on through it. Good round, they have a time penalty as well, but they are back in action, and it's going to be 6 the score, 2 for time for jumping. But a good horse to have back on the international circuit, Cannabis R and Manuel Senderos for Mexico. The new starter is the 11-year-old Zangaseda Gelding, Bonfoy van Thof van Santa Rosa, in the very talented young saddle of Ana Sofia Legoretta Hernandez on track. Now Ana Sofia, she's just 20, she's won number 395 already. Late July of last year she won the Team Silver, 5th individually at the North American Young Rider Champs at Traverse City in Michigan. That's behind Stephanie Garrett and Darius de Kezeg Z. April last year she won the 2-star Grand Prix Mexico City, beat some really class combinations that afternoon with Yoga Santa Rosa. Now Bonfoy, mid-March, their last outing was a very good 3rd in the 5-star Grand Prix at Kopakspan. This was produced by the Belgian superstar Koen Verrecke. Their partnership formed in March of 2023. And this is smart here. The 4th clear round, potentially. No, we have a mistake, I'm afraid. The Ariat double, not easy. And it's going to be 1 down late, 1 time for this exciting prospect for Mexican show jumping. Really good to see the first clear round last Sunday in the Longines Global Champions Tour for Arturo Prado Vallejo. That certainly got the crowd's imagination, which was big at Campo Marte Ignited. Team Silver coming from Mexico in the Mercedes-Benz Nations Cup in Aachen last year. That was outstanding behind Island. Talk the devil. This man, well, he was brilliant. He was 9th in the final analysis in the Grand Prix at the Longines Global Champions Tour last week in Mexico. Arturo Prado Vallejo on course, fellow Van der Morven, his ride. Now this was a horse who was 9th in that Grand Prix, so an outstanding form for Arturo. They won a 4-star Grand Prix in Wellington early March of this year. Arturo's championships was the Central American Games in Guatemala City. 2017 for the individual bronze and team silver with Cornet Stream. It's a lovely smooth turn. He carves back to 8A, B and C. Just to again keep an eye on the time as he hacks on away from the treble. It's interesting just to see the experienced riders. They can just find seconds very easy. A little hunch of their shoulders, a little tilt of the head, little adjustments that just barely visible, just can see them, but again, little minute changes to make the time that much easier. And look at his time, he's way inside. It's a very good round, and it will be clear on number 5 in the Banorte prize for Arturo Prado Vallejo, and the 3rd for the home nation Mexico. Home tail is certainly high, and this man in great form over the last 2 weeks. 5 clears, 3 for the home nation, 1 for Denmark and 1 for Argentina. The new starter, Michel Rodriguez, gets on course with the Self-Francais stallion. He's 13. Captain Rummel out of the start gate. This pair very well placed in Puebla. That was a 4-star 140. Early February this year. For 2nd in a jump-off class, it was as well. Now this lady, another one of our young guns here, at just 23 years of age. I'm afraid the hit of timber into the treble. Frustrating for Maria Michel. Her first 5-star win was at Kerpeck Span mid-March this year. With her other horse, RSK Vanta Katanai Z. Her 2nd ride of this class, she had a very good time in Europe, where she had 2 wins in Dinar. But I'm afraid will not improve on things to get a clear round, because problems with her first horse RSK Vanta Katanai Z, and also falling into a little bit of trouble out there. 8A goes, yeah, both in parts of the 2 combinations, I'm afraid, are the errors. A very smart looking Michel Rodriguez. She's a talented jockey. Captain Rummel exits after the first round of the Banorte 150, presented by GNP Seguros. The new starter, excited to watch this guy for Argentina. He is again very, very talented. Romo Jimenez Herrera is on the course. 27 years of age, and the one number 324. He moved to Mexico in 2018 to pursue his professional show jumping career. Had a massive win. San Miguel de Allende. Otomi, that was in October 2023 with Mesquidan PS. And he was well placed in 8th in the World Cup Grand Prix in Puebla this year. Conti Boy, that was a win for the Dominican Republic's lady we'll see a little bit later. Maria Gabriela Brugal Gasso and Jador Flamenco, same horse starting back end of the first round, but Pampero. Ete goes twice in succession for this pair, who again had a Puebla 2-star 145 jump-off class win late January. They have been together since August of 2024, but a 2nd mistake comes prior to the home turn. The vertical at 10. Just approaching the halfway break. We'll have a short recess of 10 minutes prior to the 2nd half of the first round in the Banorte prize. But yeah, disappointment, I'm afraid. We'll have a time penalty as well. 0.13 is the salt in the wound. out of 83 seconds. It is 13 for Jimenez Herrera and Pampero. The new starter will get even younger because just 20 years of age, and her 150 debut this afternoon, Emilia Castañeda Garcia, we welcome from Mexico. She's had a very good 2025 already. She's had two 2-star 140 wins, both in Kopakspan, both though with Oliska. And her ride this afternoon is BP St. Patrick. Her 5-star debut as the plank, I'm afraid, goes. And then, yeah, running a little bit dead off the leg into the big rustic oxer. Disappointing for a debutant. Her 5-star debut, Emilia Castañeda Garcia, was at Kopakspan March of this year. No, March last year, sorry. She was first here at Guadalajara Country Club in September 2023. I mean, a tough line, really bears its teeth into the flesh of the young Mexican. She started competing in 2021, November of that year, and this only 4th full competitive season, which is why a 150 debut is quite a landmark, bearing in mind that, or her, relative newness in world show jumping terms. BP St. Patrick. Down now into this late double Yariat combination. So difficult enough round here for Emilia Castañeda Garcia, but just bear in mind this is her maiden 150, so you've certainly just got to get round the course for your first time. They had a very difficult left-hand to right-handed serpentine line here, but okay, we'll let them right off the hook as debutants. There's a lot of lessons to be learned, surely. They'll go away and look at the videos, turn off the commentator, but I'm afraid it's 42 penalties, and a couple more on the clock as well. 46 it will be for the debutants, BP St. Patrick and Emilia Castañeda Garcia. This is a very powerfully built liver chestnut who looks like an operating machine for Bruno Cavaliero Rebello. We welcome for Brazil. World number 423 gets started. This is Mademoiselle Van der Dale. 23 their start number. And Bruno, his second ride in this competition. Carolis came in at number 4. This chestnut, yeah, he's a real operator. It's got that stamp of bold horse, an honest horse. Bruno Cavaliero Rebello sees a superb, secure stride down to 7. Gives this 13-year-old gelding bags confidence out of the Belgian Warm Blood Stud book, but I'm afraid 2 class the treble falling. B and C, I'm pretty sure it was the 8. This horse, though, a brand new ride for Bruno. Former rider of Mexico's Jose Madariaga Gonzalez Ulloa up into November last year, so it's a brand new pair this year. I've liked the feeling of the round overall. I think the last fence goes as well for a third mistake. Very solidly ridden for a new combination. No shame in that 12 penalty score for Bruno Cavaliero Rebello and Mademoiselle Van der Dale, the Belgian liver chestnuts. 5 clear rounds, everybody. Just a couple more to come before the halfway break here in the Banorte 150 4-star jump off class, presented by GNP Seguros. And superb coverage brought to you by Equestre Digital. And Samuel Parot, the new starter for Chile, out on the course. He is brilliant. As part of a class with John Whittaker, both in their 60s on the Longines Global Champions Tour last week. Samuel, a double Olympian. London 2012 was 59th individually in Greenwich Park. That was with El Calypso. And Tokyo 2020 rerouted into 2021 because of the tragedy worldwide with Corona. That was with Dubai. Tiffany Olid is on the course. Samuel, standing natural horseman, just feel oozes out of his blood vessels. Not dissimilar to Rogerie Boston, Starlight, Fancy. Just the naturalness, the ease of horseman. Pure partnership, basically. You can just feel there's nothing. I'm afraid the Ariat Oxer into the double will add on the scorecard, and 2 Oxers from bars going in the home line. Really a shame, because I would have loved to see Samuel Parot once again with that horse. He'll come again later with Crystal Blue. It's a very good horse. Has won a big Grand Prix for Samuel recently, number 47, but Tiffany Olid, I'm afraid, 2 down in the latter stages of Anderson Lima's course for the Banorte prize. So thank you to the course team here as the wind just picks up a little bit, gusting out there. It'll be 20-25 kilometers or so an hour that they are facing, so a lot of decorations having to be certainly kept a close eye on. As we come now to the last of the first half, and for Mexico, David Garcia de la Garza is the new starter. He's 39 years of age, won number 705 out over the Guadalajara Country Club triple bar. This is Tintoretto LS on course for David. His last international win was a 140 3-star at Monterrey La Silla with this horse in early November last year. He won 2 strong 3-star competitions at Puebla a couple months prior last season in September. That was with Anastasia LS and this horse as well. Now this is a great sort of combination. They've been together since November 2018, so they know each other like a very good old pair of slippers you have at home. Tintoretto LS has had 6 international wins to date with David Garcia de la Garza. It's a kind of unauthentic style that Tintoretto employs, rather like slithers over fences, kind of dives mid-air a little bit, but that is what these great horses can do. They do things their own way. There's no type, there's no set formula for a show jumper. Shapes and sizes hugely varying, and jump style and technique as well. Highly individual, which is something I love about this sport. Time though, I'm afraid, is going to deny us another clear round at the halfway stage. Yeah, right on the cusp of the 7th clear round, but I'm afraid it is a time penalty or 2 for David Garcia de la Garza and Tintoretto LS as we come to the interval. In fact, it would have been carry number 6 as we remind ourselves of the 5 clear rounds. Mexico in very good order. It is the 3 home clears, starting from Jose Antonio Chedraui Eguia, the double Olympian, Alberto Sanchez Cozar. Here's a reminder. The other very good smart round with Abril Hilchazed, his top horse of championship form. And Arturo Prado Vallejo, the horse that was 9th in the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Mexico City last Sunday, the other home clear. Ignacio Morin jumped the first one. That was for Argentina with Conchado. And the other one for Denmark, Nikolai Hein-Rus. And Cape Town, they are the 5 clears as we go into a short break here at Guadalajara Country Club in this Banorte 150 4-star jump-off class. So Thank you very much to Equestrian Digital, your all-in-one technology partner for equestrian events. They provide seamless solutions for every stage of your competition, ensuring a smooth and professional experience for organisers, riders and audiences alike. And their show services include online entries for ease of registration and management, a show office that is a streamlined event administration hub, timekeeping, accurate and reliable timing, graphics. This brilliant broadcast by Equestrian Digital this afternoon with stunning visuals for branding and broadcast as well. Live stream and production of the highest quality, offering coverage for global audiences. They can clip and amend videos for professional highlights and replays. Video boards and scoreboards provide real-time results and dynamic displays, and personalized apps as well. Customize your solutions for an enhanced experience. Thanks to Equestrian Digital, and we take a short break from the Banorte 1m50 4-star class this afternoon. From myself, Ed Holloway, thank you for your company. We'll see you all very soon with the 5 clears that take us into the halfway break.
¿Cuáles se van a quitar, mijo?
Para la birria junto al mariachi, en los parianes y alfarerías suenan con triste melancolía.
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Great that you rejoin coverage of this Banorte 1m50 4-star competition at Guadalajara Country Club, presented by GNP Seguros. The position into the halfway break, it is 5 clear rounds that have achieved both jumping and inside the 83-second time clear rounds. For the 3 for Mexico, Arturo Parada Vallejo, the latest of those. Alberto Sanchez Cosa and Jose Antonio Chedraui Aguilla. Ignacio Moura was very good for the opening clear for Argentina, and Nikolai Heine-Roos for Denmark. Those that are still coming. Great that Samuel Parro's got another iron in the fire because he was unlucky. Very good round it was for Samuel. Crystal Blue has got great form. Very excited to watch Maria Gabriela Brugau with Jador Flamenco. They are a very good combination. I think that will be a nearly guaranteed clear round if such a thing exists in world show jumping. But superb to welcome you back to the 4-star 150 Banorte prize. And what a one we restart with, because Federico Fernandez for Mexico will restart action. Federico actually celebrated his 57th birthday just last Saturday, within a week ago, and he is from Mexico City initially. Started riding at 6 years of age. What a brilliant career. The historic Team Silver that Mexico won. Last year's Mercedes-Benz prize in Aachen was spectacular. Races between Europe, May to September, and the rest of the year in Mexico City. 4-time Olympian, Athens, Hong Kong, London 2012, and Paris last year with Romeo. 7 worlds. 14th he was in Jerez back in 2002 with Bohemio. And there's Davidoff on course, Federico Fernandez this afternoon. This pair's last outing was in Kopeckspan. 5-star starts in mid-March, and he's 16 years of age, this gelding. Out of the Brandenburg-Anhalt stud book of Germany. Federico. Smooth ride back to the Macame, Liverpool over the water tray. Unruffled entry to the treble, very smooth turn, it was silky, which is not so easy after a big power fence of the Liverpool, but this man, of course, his horsemanship is spectacular. But I'm afraid Davidoff just flattens the blue-white vertical prior to the home turn, really frustrating. That's always the nature of show jumping at this level. The margins are tiny between success and a really annoying 4 penalty that Federico Fernandez, I'm afraid, has. He has 1 time as well. Great round to watch visually. It was a masterclass of smoothness and just, yeah, unpressured riding. But it is going to be 5-1 a time, and the fence error comes forth from the end of the course. The new starter, world number 330, 46 years of age. His father, Nestor Francisco Lambra, former top show jumper from Brazil, and his peak, Nestor, between the 70s and 1990s, and brother to Santiago Lambra. Pan Americans in 2019 for Rodrigo. Lima, Peru. He was 32nd individually, and team gold came with Chasiyama. He's been a long-term resident here in Mexico. He studied advertising and graphic design. Now this is Diarra. Take off Diarra PS out of the Paul Schockermoller. Powerhouse has started his Gestut Lewitz up in the northeast of Germany. Rodrigo will not have a time penalty. He bustles down the treble. Massive win was at Wellington. That was the Premier Equestrian 4-Star Grand Prix. The Winter Equestrian Festival in March of 2020. That was a cat over. Beating Shane Sweetnam and Chucky Z to the title was a big win. Now Tiara been with Rodrigo for less than a year. June of 2024 they formed a partnership. They had 2 wins in November last year. First at Lema's 2-Star Grand Prix, and then in early February this year, that was a 150 jump-off class win at Puebla, 4-star win as well. Super round, 82-13, new enough pair, and that's a super smart clear round. Love the snap away of the front legs out of that fine loxer. From the poor Shockamola. Suffix, the Tiara comes home with the very good clear round. We now have a total of 6 clear rounds. Out on course, he was our trailblazer with Chain of Blue Pea. First out of the Banorte prize. It did not go his way, did not have the rub of the green, as we'd say in golf. Mother love. Augustin Lerra is based here in Mexico at the Khan stable. He has show jumped since 2012 internationally. With this horse was second. We've mentioned it before in the programme, the Koenig Trophy, the 2-star class. Alongside the Longines Global Champions still last week with this horse Gloire de la Race in Campo Marte. As the Argentinian 1-2, Augustin second. Now Gloire de la Race, quick compression of the saddle, really quick corner that they then maintain that speed down through 9 and 10. The related distance comes up very quickly at quite stunning pace, and the final fence time here must be okay. But yeah, what a gallop for the line it was. Augustin Lerra committed after the troubles for Chain of Blue Pea. The trailblazer makes very good amends. Storms home. Sharon's coming back to back for Brazil and now for Argentina. So 5 clears into the halfway break, and clear round 6 and 7 coming immediately after it. And now 2 for Argentina, the 1 for Brazil, the 1 for Denmark, and the 3 home clears. The new starter is the wonderful grape Santa Rosa Barley on the course for Luis Gerardo Castaneda Mercado. The Mexican, he's 33 years of age. He show jumped for 16 years. He commenced career internationally in 2009. He had a very good 8th place in the 5-star Grand Prix at Otomi with his very good horse Untakeable. That's behind Shane Sweetnam and Chox Z. October 2023. This pair together since November of 2023 as well. This their 5th 150 starts this afternoon only. Santa Rosa Barley travels around the line into our presenting sponsors vertical, GNP Seguros, and yeah, I just felt a little bit flat-footed. So saw the early distance and thought just lost a little bit of the bounce in the canter. Not easy, of course, yet we're splitting little margins, but just looked to flatten a little bit down to the mistake fence, I'm afraid. Inside time, that's a real shame. Super effort from Luis Gerardo Castaneda Mercado. Yeah, just I think lost the canter's bounce a little bit on takeoff. The full penalty for the home combination. his second ride in this Banorte 150. John Perez Bomb for Colombia gets underway. Now, John Perez returns from the Longines Global Champions Tour in Mexico City last week. Didn't quite repeat the form of Gigi Carmen, same horse he had in the Grand Prix last Sunday of last year, where they were 9th in that big class. John Perez had a very good team, bronze in the Central American and Caribbean Games in Bogota, Colombia in 06. King of Pop VK survives an early rattle, coming at 6. This horse 10 years of age and makes a very nice job through the treble. Bred in the Netherlands. Now, rattles coming fairly frequently, but everything is intact here for this pair. Had a very good season, 2 super wins in the Otomi Horse Show, or at the Otomi Horse Show, San Miguel de Allende, 2-star 145s, both of those, both jump off classes as well, but yeah, the time will bite. John Perez Bomb, just in that agonizing moment, realizing 0.35 a second over time. That was a very solid clash at the Del Treble. Vertical it stays, but oi oi oi, 0.35 a second out, and it's won after a super round for the very smart King of Pop VK and John Perez Bomb. The new starter in the very elegant military outfit, we welcome Mexico's Fernando Paraquat Delfin on course. Now this man, close to my own heart as a former eventer myself, he is a hybrid eventer and show jumper. He was superb in the Pan Americans in Santiago, Chile last time, 2023. He was 13th individually there behind USA's great individual golfer Caroline Pamuku, HSH Blake, Marcio Cavallo George second for Brazil, and Lindsay Traynor on the bronze in Santiago. But this man 13th with Anahuac Son. Fernando Cadetes Dien. This horse had a very long spell actually with Manuela Camilli in 2023. Had most of the season with Emanuela, who did win that Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix, Chaco's Girl Star last Sunday. Right, so Patrick Stuhlmeier taking the ride prior to acquisition by Fernando. Haven't seen him ride before, and clearly an elegant, effective horseman, as you'd expect from a top eventer as well. But mistake coming is the Ariat double, I'm afraid, for Cadet SDN and Fernando Paraquat Delfin for Mexico. Late mistake, quick round it was, fearless. Great to see the likes of Duarte Abra going so well, as again a former top class eventer. Zandra Ofart, the former world champion in eventing. Zandra was 6th in the World Cup in Gothenburg. And Mikael Jung, the treble Olympic gold medal winner in eventing. Now a fairly regular installment Mickey on the Nations Cup teams for Mexico. Sorry, for Mexico, for Germany I mean. And the teams of Otto Becker. This man was in very good form with this horse 3 weeks ago in Coapexpan for 2nd in the 5-star Grand Prix. And of course, Luis Alejandro Palencia. And this is Enzo BJX jumping. It is combination number 32 this afternoon, with clear rounds coming in a flurry form after the halfway break. It is now 7 clear rounds. Enzo BJX spins back to this fairly imposing Liverpool, fairly uninfluential as well. At 7, This horse blood type, wiry build, so should they get home clear will be dangerous come the jump off, I would fancy. Yeah, they kept up a good strong rhythm. Time should not be a problem. But the jumping side of things, I'm afraid, is a problem. Late mistake again, that vertical race distance down between 9 and 10. It's a shame. Very nice round. Yeah, time will be just okay, I think. Or not. Yeah, just okay. 0.11 of a second. But the mistake coming. The vertical at 10. This was the mistake, just anticipating, I think, the home turn. Did nothing really wrong. It was a light flutter, but it is the, I'm afraid, separation from a clear round and frustrating for penalty. The new starter, we welcome combination number 33 to get underway. Dulce Maria Sanchez Gonzalez is on course for Mexico. She is 26 years of age. And to be brutally honest, she's searching for form a little bit at the start of this year with this horse, Kokospi. They've been out of sorts because very good ending to their year last year. They were third in a 3-star jump-off class at Otomi. 145 class, that was in October of last season. And then back in May at this venue, they were fourth in a 2-star Makame jump-off class. And Dulce Maria Sanchez Gonzalez, she got her international career started in January of 2019 in Mexico, but she had started in Europe back in late September of 2017 and had her first 2 seasons in Europe up into March of 2018. Prior to the home journey. So Kokos P just one down. So I'm delighted because I was a little bit concerned about their chances this afternoon. Seeing their recent run of form, nothing dramatic's happened, just some fairly set in full Titus start of this year, but it's a good round. Confidence giving round, certainly around a big 150 course for this young home combination. They will have time, but it's a very good round overall. It is 8 time penalties, but super solid over the fences. Just the 1 down, plus the 8, it is 12 for Dulce Maria Sanchez Gonzalez and Kokos PS for Mexico, combination number 33. The new starter, Demosthenes, is on the course. Second ride this afternoon for Francisco Jose Lomelin and Enrique jumping. Now this 12-year-old gelding, beautiful white blaze down his face, looks a picture. He's out of the South Francais stud book. This pair's last outing was a couple down in the 5-star Grand Prix Quebec span. They rattle 7 fairly hard, but it stays. Their last win came at San Miguel de Allende of the Otomi Horse Show in February of last year. That was a 1 minute 40. Jump off class victory. Now Demosthenes. Down the final line. Time is quick enough here for sure for the, well, number 487. Whoa, big jump at the final fence, got right into the base and explodes out over the wings virtually. Very good round from Francisco Jose Lomana Enrique and Demosthenes. And we have another clear round. It is the the 8th clear round of the Banorte 150 so far. Well done to the strong round for Mexico, and the home nation now with 4 qualified for the jump off. Actually, just looking down the times of the first round qualifiers, that is the second quickest of the 8 now qualified. In behind, Arturo Prado Vallejo was the quickest with 82.8. So a very strong round it was from Francisco Jose Lomana Enrique. The new starter, Patricio Pascal, gets away. He is the one number 315 Tokyo Olympian. An amateur, regardless of his superb championship form as a CEO of a group of companies here in Mexico. Those 4 championships, as he has the vertical, I'm afraid, at 6, all with Babel, his homebred wonderful horse that took him to Tokyo, the Worlds in Tryon, the Equestre, Worlds in Henning, and also the Pan Americas in Santiago. But not going, I'm afraid, the way of Patricio this afternoon, with Dino out on the course of Anderson Lima. After that historic Mexican win, the Aga Khan Trophy at Dublin's superb horse show in 2018. I've still never been to Dublin. It's very much on my hit list of shows I would love to travel to, but now 3. An uncustomary round for this very, very strong rider for the home nation. He's inside time, but it is 12, I'm afraid, for Patricio Pascal, and Dino out on the track. Again, it bears its teeth in the second half of the Banorte 1m50. The new starter, Sofia Michelle Rodriguez, gets away. Very young, up to 20-year-olds in this class, and she is 20. This is her outstanding BP First Editions on course. Their last outing was the 5-star 160 Grand Prix in Kirpexpan. And the 160 class prior to that was the World Cup Grand Prix in Puebla. In early February, they were well placed there for 11th position. 2019, November of that year, was her international debut, and this horse was the 3rd international ride for Sofia Michelle Rodriguez. And her 5-star Grand Prix debut was at Otomi in April of 2023. And this pair together since May of 2021, and that is showing here. It's a good round for this solid House of Bay. The red ribbon just to denote to those in the warm-up that he could double barrel if you got too close, but that fence now becoming a real hot spot of problems. At 10 goes again for the home combination, and a late to mistake as well. In fact, now, yeah, 3 down. Was overtime in any case, but good round to watch. Sofia Michelle Rodriguez and BP First Editions come home. And 14 is the score for them. The new starter, this man has already Cape Town qualified, the one for Denmark, to return for this 150 title. We welcome back Nikolai Heine-Roos, the new starter. And the one number 365 gets Naranjo out of the start gate. Light Bay is into a very fast flow early. Based at Sabino Farms here in Mexico, Nikolai. And as I referred to earlier, what an exciting championship debut it was in Rotterdam. Europeans of 2019. That was 10th with the Danish team, with Cadillac and 56th individually. Now Naranjo is storming. Nikolai spent 15 years with Paul Schockemoeller. Paul Schockemoeller. I'm digging my trench deep with my wife. It's amazing actually, coming from England, we realise how lacklustre and imprecise we are as pronouncers of words, which as a commentator is a worrying reality to face when you're married to a German who pronunciation is just absolutely immaculate. And we get the jaw muscle working better in Britain. It's collective laziness, I think, but problems, I'm afraid, for Naranjo down that final line. It's a real shame because it was immaculate, and then the last fence again booted into touch. It is 12. What a disappointing collapse in form, having started so powerfully. Danish pair, they complete. Now be really upset with the end of the round. Nikolai thankfully has the one horse to return. Then is Cape Town, his first of the class. The new starter, this very talented rider for Mexico. Individual bronze and team gold, Abril Hilcher Z secured at the Central American and Caribbean Games of 2023 in Santo Domingo. Alberto Sanchez Cosar is on course. Now this is an Equinox de la Pomme, 11-year-old Self-Francais stallion. Former ride, this one of Claudia Michel, up into August of last year, was competing in Europe with this. Very nice little chestnut. Just the one down for Equinox de la Pomme. Early doors for Alberto Sanchez Cosar. They've jumped some very good big class. They've jumped some 160s. They were in Puebla for the World Cup Grand Prix. 5th there as well. It was impressive start of February this year. The last time he was in Coapexpan, again jumped the 160 Grand Prix 5-star class in Coapexpan. A tough round there, so this is a good round to try and regroup and restore confidence. He's a Self-Francais stallion, this guy. He's the son of the former world champion of 2010, Legarda Sui, who won in Lexington, Kentucky with Philippe Lejeune 15 years ago now. Well, 2 down. Out on the course, plus 4 for time. It is going to be 12 for Equinox de la Pomme, and a disappointing round, but okay. Alberto Sanchez Cosar comes home. The new starter, this man, 33 years of age, he's got a very strong record at championships. He was twice at the North American Juniors, Park Colorado 2008 and Lexington the following year. Team bronze came in Parker with Puerta's Blue Dream. And then the senior debut was at the Central American Games in Guatemala City with Premier 2017 for a very good team, silver and 21st individually. And this is a big stand for Juan Carlos Alvarez del Castillo B on course. This is their, again, 150 debut this afternoon as they clear the plank. Now this pair formed in May of last year. Ride of Uruguay's Juan Manuel Lusardo. In fact, with Juan, very well placed here at Guadalajara Country Club 2023 because they had 4 wins that year in May and then later in the fall as well. The big stand's good form here. Guadalajara continues this season with a new partner, and I'm a little bit concerned about the time though. Let's hope I needn't be concerned. Maybe not here, I'm not sure. But now it's academic because the Ariat double claimed another one, the Banorte Oxa. And yeah, time was just exceeded. Cool, I wasn't far, I was in good judgment there. 500ths of a second was the deficit on the clock. But that final line, I'm afraid, is a heavy pair of hits for an otherwise superb round. They've been together for less than 1 year and impressive for Big Stan. Juan Carlos Alvarez del Castillo B has 8, plus 1 for time, 9 the total. Still we sit with the 8 clears and the 4 home nation clear rounds, the 2 for Argentina, 1 for Brazil, Rodrigo Balambra, and the first ride for Nikolai Hein-Roos. For Denmark are the clears. Very frustrating time penalties for 3 combinations: David Garcia de la Garza, Juan Manuel Lusardo, and John Perez Bom, the 3 that picks up time penalties with a clear round jumping. The new starter, now this man was on fire. It is his second ride in this class. He was brilliant on the Longines Global Champions Tour. It is Ignacio Moura, Argentina. Already Conchado qualified. This is Chaco Cono PS on course for him. This horse was second and behind Eduardo Pereira Menezes in the first GCL round individually on the Longines Global Champions Tour of Mexico City last week. That was awesome. Now this pair together since June of 2024. They had a very big 3-star 150 Grand Prix win at Querétaro El Marqués here in Mexico. Early December last year. The horse's first international win it was as well. They've just stepped up to 5-star level as well this season. They had a first 5-star start at Pakistan 3 weeks ago, and they are still clear. Time should just be okay here. Great round for Ignacio Morin. He has got 2 qualified. His form is awesome at the moment. Dazzled on the GCT last week, and that rich run continues here into Guadalajara's Country Club fixture. And that's a very good round for Ignacio Morin. He's now double-fisted into our jump-off. Conchado is joined by Chaco Cono PS for Argentina. It's 9 clear rounds in total. So just to recap, it is the 9 clears, the 4 for the home nation Mexico, Argentina, With Ignacio Morin's double, they have now 3: Argentina and Denmark with the 1, Nikolai Heine-Roos. And the one very good one for Brazil, that is Rodrigo Lambre. They are the 9 that will return as we stand. This lady wins a lot of international classes. She's got a great record. She's only 23 years of age. Martina Franco Stefan is on the course for Mexico. She went on a European route last year. She won the 2-star jump-off class, the 130, alongside the Longines Global Champions Tour in Cannes in June of last year. She then won a 2-star jump-off class in Chantilly, up in the north of France in July. The following month with Ecuador for both of those wins. This Claire 188 on course for Martina Franco Stefan. Started actually the 5-star class in Dinar. Again, that was last year, so jumps some very big courses. Got to get right into the foot of the Liverpool. Touch the front bar, it stays, thankfully. But that, I'm afraid, mid part of the treble does not stay. Martina was well placed here. A couple of second places in 2 140 2-star classes. Both of the other horse, Ecuador, to both 4. This pair had a very good 5-star win at Monterrey La Silla early November last year. And Claire 188 runs homebound. It's a shame, mid past the treble for Martina Franco Stefan. She looks very talented, very natural horsewoman. Gets the job done well enough, just inside time, sneaky inside the time, but this is a mistake, I'm afraid, coming at a B for the young pair for Mexico. Penalties for Claire 188 and Martina Franco Stefan. Enjoy this rider, he is a superstar, he's still only 30 years of age, he is the world number 320. A Tokyo Olympian, 55th individually with Hortensia van der Looywerk at the Plasma Games in Japan. He won the individual gold at the Central American Champs in 2017. Team silver again with Hortensia. He started riding at 8 years of age, he hails from Jalapa La Cruz in southeast of Mexico. But it's a real shame, 4 penalties early for Manuel, because it is a brand new ride, that is the explanation. First start ever with Balam SDN this week. Second error, I'm afraid. This horse, former Nations Cup rider Antonio Alfonso, the Italian from Rotterdam 2023, was the Italian Nations Cup team start. This man won the World Cup in Puebla with Hortensia, February 2022. Didn't actually ride ponies, interestingly enough. He started on small horses. Then his debut for the Nations Cup team for Mexico came in Wellington. He was a reserve initially for the 2019 Nations Cup. Then got the call up to the team last minute, jumped a double clear. And his international career has not looked backwards from that. Maiden Nations Cup start in Wellington. So as I say, new combination, that is why there's been a couple of errors, because this man clearly is a still young master at 30. And again, part of a booming Mexican team that is very exciting as we look onwards into the World Champs next year in Aachen. And we'll see whether they can, the home nation, repeat their form of the Mercedes-Benz prize in Aachen last year with the team silver. Let's hope so. Up and out for Balam SDN and Manuel Gonzalez Dufresne for Mexico. The second ride for David Garcia de la Garza away, clatters the first, the triple bar, but it is all intact. 39 years of age. Now this pair, they won the two-star Grand Prix that was a world ranking class as well. The Otomi Horse Show, beautiful region of Mexico, San Miguel de Allende, February of last year. They also had a three-star win at Puebla, September of last season as well. Plank goes this little fiendish serpentine line. Nothing little about it, of course, fence dimensionally, but just a little serpentine change of direction. 4, 5 to 6. Anastasia Alès down through the treble. Yeah, lovely smooth ride. That was perfect. Rhythm was kept strong. Strong tempo coming in, even though it's technical line, which is a real hallmark of the world-class combinations these days. There's not a lot of checking into technical lines. It's just free-flowing and attacking, I think, is the modern hallmark. David Garcia de la Garza will be ruining that early mistake, and now a late mistake as well. For a pair of red blotches on the scorecard. It was a good round, certainly. Lovely flow, but we'll have a couple of fences down and also 3 time penalties. It is going to be 11 for the home combination. The new starter, Oliska, looks very hot on her feet out on the course. It is Emilia Castaneda Garcia getting away. I'm afraid that early adrenaline, well, I thought it caused them a problem. It sounded like a fence down, but looks like we are still clear here. Oliska had a very good pair of international wins. Both won 42-star wins. Her PEC span this year. Still around intact with this very compact, bouncy canter. Oliska is really fighting out there. Yeah, time should be okay as well. They're getting a real wiggle on this 11-year-old mare down this set of verticals. There's a mistake, I'm afraid. Ah, it's a real shame. Because I can confirm this horse is fairly new to 150. They did start a 150 competition at Puebla, very start of last year. So they'll come home. It will be also 5 for time plus the 8 jumping. 13, but a good round, bearing in mind they are not that experienced at this high 150 elite level of show jumping. The new starter, the man who unpicked the key to the jump off for the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix, Mexico City last Sunday. Sorry, proud of Alejo Rokenbach. That was with his smart fellow Van der Morven. But now this is Elias Dumaret on the course. Fellow already clear with Arturo. Still the quickest clear round thus far. 82.8 was his time. This horse produced by Francis Jérôme Morel into October of 2023. The jump on the Longines Global Champions Tour last week. They were very well placed 9th in the World Cup at Desert Horse Park International February of this year as well. Arturo looking again to join Ignacio Morin with 2 clears into the jump off for this Banorte 150 this afternoon, and he's quick, boy oh boy. 36 years of age and just has not ever dropped the horse in terms of contact or motivation. You could just see Arturo bustles everything along. Really rallying round once again. Look at that time. Quickest so far by a huge margin of himself. 77.87 is astonishingly quick out on the course of Anderson Lima. And we have now 2 riders with a pair of horses to return for the Banorte prize. Ignacio Morin and now Arturo Prado Vallejo also with a super pair to come back for the big class. The new pair, they were brilliant in the World Cup Grand Prix in Puebla. 8th place that was in early February of this year. Jerónimo Jiménez Herrera gets away for Argentina. 27 years of age, and the world number 324 is on course. Already the 3 Argentinian clears, the 2 for Ignacio Morin and the 1 for Augustin Lerrin already registered. Conti boy looks relaxed early on, but also with a briskness of step that I think this pair will be inside time if they can maintain this speed, which they look like doing. Has been now here in Mexico for 7 years. Jerónimo moves here in 2018 to really launch his professional career into the healthy state it is in these days. Very natural horseman, just sits in a really stunning balance and just gets the job done. Really looks fairly effortless and yeah, super to watch actually. Time is tight though for the Argentinian pair. Very tight indeed. 0.19 exceeded. That's a real frustrating one time because it was a super round to watch. First time I've seen Jerónimo Jiménez Herrera in the saddle, and I think he's very, very talented. This pair had a superb 4-star 1m55 Grand Prix win in Coapex in March of this year. Samuel Parot brings his 2nd ride to the Banorte 150. It was a good first round, but no cigar into the jump off. And this is Crystal Blue jumping for Samuel. The double Olympian 60-year-old is out of the start gates. Looks to be riding as well as ever. Boy oh boy, the first round fluency was top order. Was alongside John Whittaker in the Longines Global Champions Tour not Grand Prix, but in the John sadly missed out, but Mexico City last week on the tour in that very good win for Zara Vingrakova. Both John and Samuel Parot part of that same class as Zara took. Young rider for Czechia with Nalia van der Merel's nest on the weekend, or at the weekend. Crystal Blue with quite a long rein contact from Samuel Parot. It's always interesting with these horses that you just can't collect too much. You've got to allow them their freedom, but the independent ones you've got to have a little bit more rein length than others, just to allow them to feel their right in control. That's a frequent policy, but yeah, bizarre loss of form after that great win in Coapex earlier in March. I'm afraid Crystal Blue and Samuel Parot. It's 12 for the great old Chilean. Disappointment out to the course of Anderson Lima for Samuel Parro this afternoon. Now this pair are brilliant on course, the Dominican Republic. Delighted to welcome Maria Gabriela Brugal Gasso. This is Jador Flamenco jumping. This is the pair that won the Longines FEI World Cup in Puebla early February this year. This horse is sire Tumi's former top horse Jetem Flamenco, who won the 2011 Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Valencia in Spain. And Jador Flamenco is eating this course at breakfast here. 10 clears at this point. Just a couple more to start the first round of this Banorte 150. 5 for Mexico, the 3 for Argentina, Denmark and Brazil. But surely the Dominican Republic will be joining that lineup. It would be bizarre if something happens to this combination, I think, from this point onwards. Jador Flamenco hunts around the turn, homebound, and Maria Gabriela Brugal Gasso doing a superb job as ever in the saddle. Time here will just be okay, I think. Yeah, really around that was. Automatic pilot from the pair for the Dominican Republic. It's a great 11th clear round in the Banorte 150, and the Dominican Republic is the 5th nation to be back. And they've got the accolade of the World Cup win in Puebla this year. The new starter, we welcome, it is Juan Bautista Peduti Hortus on course for Argentina. And this is Ninvaro PS jumping. Pretty certain it's not Ana Sofia. I'm certain enough that it's Juan Bautista Peduti Hortus. Ninvaro PS is certainly getting a very good head of steam on here. This is a fast round. So 11 clear rounds at this point, and this is looking like clear round number 12 all day long. This is consummate, it's confident, it's quick, it's energized. There's nothing not to love here from Juan Bautista Peduti Hortus for Argentina. Argentina going very well. 5 home clears for Mexico, but 3 already for Argentina. And Ninvaro PS is powering home. Will be way inside time. The home turn, boy, was just carved. Just a chunk of the Guadalajara Country Club just taken out of the equation there. Just jinked left, went straight for the last fence. That is car number 11. Argentina looking very competitive as well as the home nation for the Banorte 150 prize. Juan Bautista Pediti Hortes will be back with quite explosive display from Ninvaro PS this afternoon here. So confirmation, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be an exciting lineup. 12 clear rounds are completed and the Mexican home charge is really lively. 5 for the home nation. Argentina are also looking very strong. They are rallying the Argentinians for the win. With that last clear of Juan Bautista Pediti Hortes, it is 4 for Argentina, 1 for Denmark, he came early. And the Brazilian Rodrigo Lambra, that very smart round for the beautiful grey Jador Flamenco, and Maria Gabriela Brugal Gasso. Confirmation of those that will be returning for the Banorte 150 here at Guadalajara Country Club. Now that pair not very well placed, 9th in the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix last Sunday. And again, very, very fast from Arturo Prada Vallejo. Well, we take a short break, everybody, prior to the jump off. Hope you are enjoying the coverage from Guadalajara Country Club. And thank you very much to Equestre Digital for great pictures we are enjoying. Equestre Digital, your all-in-one technology partner for equestrian events. And they provide seamless solutions for every stage of competition, ensuring a smooth and professional experience for organisers, riders and audiences alike. Thank you very much to them, Equestre Digital, who power the future of equestrian events. We take a short break from Guadalajara and we'll be back very shortly with the jump off. Welcome back everybody to the jump off to decide the fate of this 1m50 4-star Banorte world ranking class competition. $62,480 the prize purse. A quarter of that will go to our champion. And it is going to be 11 combinations to return. There's a dead heat in numbers terms between the home nation and Mexico with 4 and Argentina with 4 as well. Denmark has 1, Brazil and the Dominican Republic are the other lone wolves this afternoon. Of course, to give you a quick look, it's 1 the triple bar. They then will cut left-handed back to the oxer blind. It's going to be to 2, very sharp turn that is. Then they'll turn back to 9, right-hander will be very, very much acute. Then down to 10 that came down a lot in the first round, the blue-white vertical. Both parts of the double 11 and A and B remain. They then turn left-handed to a new fence just behind the second fence 15 as an oxer. Not an easy line because then from 15 right-handed again sharp it will need to be to 8A. Just the one part of the treble remains, and then right-handed a new diagonal cut. The final fence that is a brand new fence, fence number 16. Up towards the in-gate is the course of Anderson Lima. 330 meters, and Ignacio Moura will lead us into action. The first of the 4 for Argentina. This the tough turn, but I think it falls the oxer. I heard a rattle. Maybe he's okay. Conchado then wheels back to the GNP Seguros vertical. Fence number 9, 10 as well. This man who's riding absolutely superbly right now. His form last week was superb on the Global Champions Tour, and that is continuing here in Guadalajara. This is not an easy little serpentine cut back. He again negotiates really impressively. Ignacio Moura comes down to the finish line. 46.72 the time. And he is looking very, very strong at the moment. And he sets a pace in the Banorte 1m50 here at the Guadalajara Country Club with a stunning display. Now, but there was a fence down as I had a gut feeling. Yeah, there's 4 penalties, I'm afraid, for Ignacio Moura. Conchado has the 4 outs on the course in the jump off. How good was this man in the first round? The double Olympian from Atlanta and Hong Kong was stunning with Concours, and he sets off to try and secure the first upper clear of the Banorte 150. Great turn, sharp turn back to number 2. Concours rattles around the GNP Seguros vertical. Jose Antonio Chedraui Aguirre has not relented. It's a good turn back to Ariad's double. Kept the pace up on the corner. Now this very tricky serpentine section to the Macame oxer, still free flowing and majestic is this round. Open up the line there as well to get to that orange-white vertical. In perfect spot, he finds the last fence as well. 46.83, so quite well down actually on the Argentinian time. I thought it was quicker than that, but it is the first upper clear round of the Banorte 1m50 here in Guadalajara. And the double Olympian, Jose Antonio Chedraui Aguirre, sets the pace. This superb little mare, she will like the turns in that serpentine cut section. Abra Hilcher Z, the new start of Alberto Sanchez Cosar. Now this very talented combination. Winners of the individual bronze and team gold, the Central American and Caribbean games in Santo Domingo. Fence 23 are away at a storming pace here. Now very sharply down over the second. Shell handbrake turn back to the GNP Seguros, our presenting sponsors. Vertical meets it to a T, and then again pressure just maintained down to the blue-white vertical. Alberto Sanchez Cosa delivering a knockout round here, I think. Little rattle at the Mikame Oxer, but it stays, and 2 to go here. Time must be quicker. Comes charging for home. It's a really good round. He can leave the final fence standing. Was flat to the vertical. 43-47. Yeah, thumbs up for Alberto Sanchez Cosa. Takes lead in the Banorte 150 here at Guadalajara Country Club with a really impressive display. This man comes a superb round with this horse, Cape Town, and the man from the Rotterdam Europeans of 2019 with Cadillac gets away. Cape Town on course, Nikolai Hein-Rus. Chasing us down, 43-47 of Alberto Sanchez Cosa. Drops in deep to the second, but picks up out of a deep enough spot here. Cape Town then good sharp turn into the GNP Seguros vertical. It's brick locked on, a little bit lucky to escape of the blue and white vertical. Slightly lackluster on takeoff here, but the Danish pair spring heel down through the Ariete double. I don't think 43.87 comes under fire here. No, the time is safe, surely. But it is a very good round for Nikolai Hein-Rus and Cape Town as they travel homewards. That'll be 1.69 seconds over time, but it's a smart double clear in the Banorte 150. Those double clears you certainly enjoy. Podium's lovely, wins really, really exciting, but it's a very smart double clear for the seasoned Dane Nikolai Hein-Rus. Now the new starters, this man comes with a real gust of wind in the sails to the first fence. Arturo Prada Vallejo, 9th in the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix last weekend in Mexico, but no, they flatten, I'm afraid, a second. Levanta Morvan for the one number 138. Sets off like a scalded cat trying to chase. 43-47 of Alberto Sanchez Cosa. This man is a flair horseman, isn't he ever? He rides with an abandon and a freedom which is great to see. Uninhibited is the description. He is really exciting to watch, but I'm afraid 4 penalties coming at fence number 2 for Arturo Prada Vallejo and fellow Levanta Morvan. That was a mistake. Got that bird out of its nest, certainly. But it is 4 penalties. Good time. A little bit down on the leading time in any case. And 4th place for Arturo Prada Vallejo. Now the turn of Brazil's Rodrigo Lambra getting started, the one number 330. Long time resident here in Mexico, and this is the very good Diarra out on the course. Takeoff Diarra PS for Rodrigo Libre, number 22 in the first round. Now 43-47 of Mexico's Alberto Sanchez Cosar, his target. Good turn that is, sharp turn. Diarra double quickly in his wake as well. Yeah, but the one down, I'm afraid, out of the Ariat double. 2 then consecutive errors coming. 11B and 15, and now 3, I think. It's a real shame because it was strong. Rodrigo Libre comes home. But it's going to be cluster, I'm afraid, for the Brazilian. Out on the course, the pair that formed in June of last year. The new starter sets off again with a real gallop, sustained and opened up over the first fence beautifully. Augustin Lerra for Argentina is on course, and Gloire de la Race, after that very good form in Mexico City last weekend, chasing down now. 43-47 of Alberto Sanchez Cosar, and that's a good turn. Gloire really performing out there. Little fast, quick to turn and maneuver into this serpentine section. This is very good here. I don't think quite enough for the win, but what a good round for Augustin Lerra for Argentina. As Gloire de la Race comes down to the final fence. Super out to watch again. Improvising the whole way, just spontaneous. And it's a very nice double clear round in the Banorte 150 for the pair for Argentina. The new starter meets the first of the flat gallop, and Francisco Jose Lomana Enrique on course. Demosthenes gets away very well. The chestnut, no, the second fence, heard a clip of the wood. I thought it sounded light, but it does go, I'm afraid. Demosthenes out of reckoning, or out of the reckoning, and the second error goes to the blue-white vertical. Yes, a shame. They set off with a real feeling of positivity, but does not come off, I'm afraid, out on the track for the jump off from Anderson Lima, and it's 8 penalties. 48.67 was 5.2 seconds adrift of Alberto Sanchez Cosar, still leads the way. 43.47, the best time. Albril Hilcher Z for Mexico. Four more to come, and this is Ignacio Moura. We welcome. Now this horse, brilliant last week. He was second. Ignacio Behind Eduardo Pereira Menezes in the first GCL round individual standings, and Jaco Cono PS is away smartly for Ignacio Morin, chasing the Mexican time. 43.47 of Alberto Sanchez Cosa. It's a very smooth turn to the GNP Seguros, smooth and quick critically. And then flat down to the vertical at 10. This is where the course really amps up in terms of technicality, difficulty. This very slippery serpentine that Ignacio flies around. Now this is on here, maybe. The Argentinians come home ahead. Homebound, and really rattles down to the last fence, still in the green. It's going to be right on the time. Yeah, he's got it. 0.1 of a second. Well done to him. Ignacio Morin. The turn to the penultimate was so inside to 8A, the vertical. Just pressure to not relent, angling the first. And wow, that was awesome. Jaco Cono out in front. The Banorte 150 with a speed display. But now the winners of the Longines FEI World Cup in Puebla, here in Mexico, start of this year in February. Maria Gabriela Brugal Gasso, we welcome forward, and this is Jadot Flamenco. This beautiful son of Jatem Flamenco just fills your eye. You can't take your eye off him. He's powerful. He's got the most honest, lovely eye as well. You can just see he's a gentleman of a horse. Now, a very quick new time to chase. 43.37 of Ignacio Morin that Maria Gabriela I don't think is setting off in pursuit of particularly. It's quite a leisurely start, I think. But then, no, they chased down to the blue-white vertical. That was quicker. Sudden injection of speed mid-course here from the pair of the Dominican Republic. 43.37. 10 seconds here. I don't think, no, didn't quite go out the gates at the start, and just a little loss of balance on takeoff to the penultimate. It was still quick. Bear in mind, they were sort of in third gear until after the vertical at 9, I think, was the tip point. After this next fence, they then got into their running and motored. One down coming, 2 from home. For Jadot Flamenco, and superb rider. She's still in her 20s. Maria Gabriela Brugal Gasso for the Dominican Republic goes in 7th place. The Argentinian win is secure because Argentina leading with Ignacio Morin, and the last to go, Argentina's Juan Batusta Paduti Hortas gets away with this outstanding Ninvaro PS, who it makes a fleet-footed start. He very economical with the line as he cuts back to the vertical at 9, meets it smoothly. And again, shifts on very well down to blue-white vertical. Now that's a quick turn. Ignacio Morin leads 43.37. This is in touch here. Ninvaro, sharpest of angles over the Macame Oxa. The penultimate, they get deep here. They've got to fly. Lost a little bit of momentum into the second last fence, I think. But that's a super round. 1.38 seconds is the deficit. 44.75 is the last time of the Banorte 1m50 4-star jump-off class, presented by GNP Seguros here. Guadalajara Country Club, second day. That is a super round to complete. It is a great class for Argentina. They have 2 on the podium. Juan Bautista Petit Hortas will be third with an Enviro PS 44.75. His time. Here's confirmation. 50 started the 150 Banorte prize. There are only 6 double clear rounds. Argentina have 3 of those double clears. Augustin Lara is 6th for Argentina. Juan Bautista Petit Hortas is a very good podium finisher in 3rd with an Enviro PS 44.75, but the win goes to Ignacio Moura and Chaco Cono PS. Argentina lifts the 150 Banorte prize here at the Guadalajara Country Club. The best of Mexico, beautiful round. They're a class combination. Alberto Sanchez Cosar is the reserve champion with April Hilcher Z. And Denmark's Nikolai Hein Rus is 4th with Cape Town. And the double Olympian, impressive again, 5th place for Jose Antonio Chedraui Guia and Concours. Down we go, frustrating time penalties for those 4 combinations. Conti Boy, King of Pop, VK, Guismo de Rue and Tintoretto Alas all fall shy of the time in the first round. Oh, certainly really good sport this afternoon. A huge prize purse on offer, $62,480 US, the total prize purse, and of that a quarter will go to our champion. Some really exciting new combinations as well that I think will be impressive as we go out into the 2025 season. Leaving the spring here. It's been a stunning pair of weeks in Mexico after the success of the Longines Global Champions Tour last week. Into Guadalajara Country Club, same designer, Anderson Lima, did a very good job in Mexico City. And another fascinating course from Anderson. It was his debut on the Longines Global Champions Tour last week. And he certainly looks to be a very, very interesting designer here in Mexico. Thank you to Equestrian Digital for the superb coverage. Equestrian Digital, your all-in-one technology partner for equestrian events. And they provide seamless solutions for every stage of competition, ensuring a smooth and professional experience for organisers, riders and audiences alike. And their services include online entries, effortless registration and management, Show Office, that is a streamlined event administration service, timekeeping, accurate and reliable timing, graphics that produce stunning visuals for branding and broadcast, live stream and production, high quality coverage for global audiences, clipping and videos, professional highlights and replays, video boards and scoreboards, real-time results and dynamic displays, and personalized apps that custom solutions for enhanced experience. From start to finish, Equestrian Digital provide technology to equestrian sports like never before, and Equestrian Digital powering the future of equestrian events. delighted to welcome the top of the Banorte 150 here at Guadalajara Country Club into the main arena for the awards ceremony, led in by Ignacio Moura from Argentina. Chaco Cono PS has a superb win this afternoon. The winning time 43.37. The winning margin, not a big one, 0.1 of a second. From the long-time leader, Alberto Sanchez Cosa, is the best for the home nation Mexico. He is second. April Hilcher Zed's time, 43.47. And then a stunning 44.75 second time. Last go, Juan Bautista Peruti Hordes is on the podium. Third place for the Argentinian with Ninvaro PS this afternoon. Fourth place goes to the Danish rider Nikolai Hein-Roos and Cape Town. And fifth place, it was a really stunning double clear from the double Olympian Jose Antonio Chedraui Aguirre. Concours, fifth place, 46.83. Tenth place we start in. Demosthenes is 10th. Francisco Jose Lomela Enrique does very well this afternoon. Well, ninth place, what a good pair of results for Ignacio Moura. He won as well. Ninth it is with Conchado. 4 penalties, 46.72. This was a stunning performance with just one down in the jump off for this great combination. Republic's Maria Gabriela Brugal Gasso is 8th with Jador Flamenco. In 7th place, they've had a great couple of weeks. It is Arturo Pereira Vallejo for Mexico with fellow Vanta Morvan, 4 in a time of 45.07. This was a stunning 4th place. 5th place, Jose Antonio Chedraui Aguirre moments ago with Concours, very, very smart. Nikolai Hein-Roos, he is 4th with Cape Town, really smart for them, double clear, 45.16 the time. This was certainly a great round for 3rd place podium finish. Juan Bautista Peruti Hortes, immaculate for Argentina. What a good class for Argentina. 3rd with Ninvaro PS this afternoon. But the reserve champion, very, very good for Mexico, the best of Mexico in the class. That was Alberto Sanchez Cosa and April Hilcher Zed, his outstanding bay. But here the winner, what a good class it has been, what a super win. He wins by 0.1 of a second. Ignacio Moura wins the Banorte 150 here at Guadalajara Country Club. Congratulations to him. Chaco Cono PS, the winning horse, and the time 43.37. It's a very big win for him this afternoon. Congratulations. Well, Ignacio Moura's superb form continues, having had the second place in the GCL Round 1 on the Launching Global Champions Tour last week. It's a very good win for him with Chaco Cono PS here at Guadalajara Country Club. The Banorte 150 goes to Argentina. Argentina first and third, and the best for Mexico in this class. Alberto Sanchez Cosa and Abril Hilcher Zed. A pair with wonderful championship form. That are the reserve champions here in Guadalajara. The three men get up on the podium, and congratulations to them. Well done to them. Juan Bautista Peduti Hortis is third. Alberto Sanchez Cosa, the best for Mexico today. And a very good win. He'll be delighted. His great run continues into Guadalajara. Ignacio Moura wins for Argentina. The Banorte 4-star 150 as we stand. Plus a young son for the national anthem. Congratulations to Ignacio Moura, he wins, and Chaco Cono PS lifts the Banorte 150. And bubbles for the son that remained. The other one, I'm afraid, is going to miss out this afternoon. Congratulations to Ignacio. And a very, very smart win for him this afternoon here in Guadalajara. Second place goes to Alberto Sanchez Cosa. The winning margin, just 0.1 of a second. It went to the wire. And a great class for Argentina. First and third is Juan Bautista Peduti Hortis and Ninvaro PS, who looked immaculate through the class. And within, again, about a second and a third of the winning time as the bubbles flow. So double clears few and far between, just 6 double clears throughout the competition, and these the 3 quickest ones as our top 3 get back onto their horses. Ninvaro, Abril Hilcher Zed and Chaco Cono PS respectively. So away goes the champion of the Banorte 1m50 4-star class here, presented by GNP Seguros this afternoon. It is an Argentinian win. Congratulations to Ignacio Moura. His sensational run continues. Chaco Cono PS is the winner. Alberto Sanchez Cosa, he claims second, the best for the home nation Mexico. Abril Hilcher Zed and Juan Bautista Peduti Hortis has a very good class. Third place for Argentina again with Ninvaro PS this afternoon. Fourth place Nikolai Hain-Rus just leaving a picture. And then the beautiful Jadot Flamenco Maria Gabriela Brugal Gasso is 8th out on the Banorte prize course. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is good afternoon from us here in Guadalajara. From myself, Ed Holloway, who we hope you've enjoyed the coverage. Thank you to Equestre Digital for the great footage today. Congratulations to Ignacio Moura. Argentina wins the Banorte prize. We'll see you soon, and good afternoon from Guadalajara Country Club. Thank you for watching.
We have a new leader.